You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. Once again, we are here today, and man, we have a true honor. We have the one and only Jake Tapper. He is the CNN anchor and chief Washington correspondent. He is also the author of The Race Against Terror, Chasing an Al-Qaeda Killer at the Dawn of the Forever War. You don't need an introduction, Mr. Tapper. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, Shamaya. How you doing?
Doing awesome, sir. So kind of break down what inspired you to get inside the facts of the story, because you were drawn to this case and it made you want to write the book. So what was the story behind that? So
it's kind of just a random story. I was at my son's birthday party in 2022. It was a paintball party way out in rural Virginia. So I would just have pizza and drinks for the grown-ups so they could just hang out for a couple hours instead of having to spend the day driving back and forth. And one of the dads said to me that he knew somebody from the previous nonfiction book I'd written called The Outpost, which was a story about a doomed outpost in Afghanistan. And I said, oh, yeah, that story was really tough to write because the military keeps such bad records and they're not eager to share them. And he said, tell me about it. And then he starts telling me this incredible story. He's an assistant U.S. attorney sitting at his desk. He gets a phone call one day from the FBI. The Italians have picked up on a cruise ship this guy who claimed he was Al-Qaeda and claimed that he had killed Americans in battle and had tried to blow up a U.S. embassy, and he was determined to kill more. And his name was Spin Ghoul. Had they heard of him? And Dave, the dad, said, yeah, we've heard of him. And so the prosecutors go over to Italy, they hear his story, and then there is this race because the Italians do not want to hold this guy. He's done nothing to them, and the Americans do not want him released or put him in a refugee camp where he can easily escape from. And so there is this race to build a case against him. And it's just this fascinating story. I don't know about you, Shamaya, but for me, I love the police procedurals like CSI and Law and Order, Cold Case, those shows, NCIS, Criminal Minds. I love watching or hearing about law enforcement building a case against a bad guy. And that's what this book is. I wrote it. It's a nonfiction book, but I wrote it like a thriller. I tried to write it like so it would be as compelling as possible, as if you're reading fiction. But it's a 100% true story, and it's about how they built this case against this guy to lock him up forever, because if they didn't, he was determined to go and kill as many Americans as possible.
And this book is framed as a race against the clock. And I like how you talked about parallels to the TV shows that we watched. When you look at that comparison, what did you notice between what investors actually do and did versus what we sometimes see on those shows?
Well, it's a much bigger group of people. Like, obviously, in those TV shows, it's like 3 people or 2. And in real life, it's dozens. In a case like this, as opposed to CSI, which is like, a murder in Las Vegas, this was a guy who killed Americans in Afghanistan from a base in Pakistan, who was from Saudi Arabia and whose parents are from Niger. And then he went to Nigeria to try to blow up the U.S. embassy there. And so it becomes this international story. But I tried to get into the story of each of the individual characters too, because one of the great things about this story, the real life story, is that the characters are from every possible American background, every race, religion, creed, and it is just this incredible American mosaic of law enforcement. It's not just a bunch. It is like it is depicted on TV. It is a diverse group of people from all over the map trying to save lives and bring justice. And it's not just a Hollywood invention. That's who these people were. And that was really fun to discover as well.
When you look at topics like this in the book that you wrote, it's hard not to get in politics. But when you look at lessons about justice, accountability, and resilience, what do you hope readers can learn from your book?
First, I hope, the very first thing I hope people take away from the book is I hope they just think it's a good yarn, that it's just a good read, that they really just like it and enjoy it and found it compelling. But the second thing is, like, this is the U.S. government at its best, working together, operating well together with a declared mission, regardless of who the president is, because it starts in 2011, but it ends in 2018, and during the Trump era, and the politics of it don't matter. I mean, there are policy disagreements from Bush to Obama to Trump, but the politics are almost incidental because the assistant U.S. attorneys and the FBI agents and the rest, they're just doing their job. It doesn't matter who the president is. And I think that's an important lesson for us. That's how this works the best way. And one of the reasons I bring it up is because there are some really good expert prosecutors who are losing their jobs now in this political era of the Justice Department under Trump. One of the heroes of this book is a guy named George Toscas, who did not cooperate with me, did not talk to me, but I just know how good he was. He was a National Security Division prosecutor at the Justice Department who just had a very skeptical eye and just required a lot because he wanted to lock up bad guys and he didn't want there to be any mishaps in court. And he's been sidelined because he signed off on the warrant for the Mar-a-Lago raid for the classified documents. That doesn't make us safer, that decision, to sideline this guy, this experienced prosecutor. And that's happening all over the country now because under Trump's Justice Department.
Once again, listen on Refocus Radio, talking to our guest today, Jake Tapper. Go get his book. It's available right now. Pre-order and get it on October 7th. Race Against Terror, Chasing an Al-Qaeda Killer at the Dawn of the Forever War. One last question I'll squeeze for you, man. When you look at the success of your own career, all the sacrifices and work you had to put into your own career, what will you say to the young people out there?
I mean, I just think hard work wins out at the end of the day. There is so much rejection in adult life that I don't think young people are told about or familiar with. I mean, I think that they think that maybe being an adult is just all fun and games and like it's just success after success after success. But as you know, and I know, it's a lot of work, a lot of rejection, a lot of just like working through it, and the only way out is through. And I just hope that that young people know that and understand it and don't take it personally. Just know that that's what life is.
Once again, make sure you get Mr. Tapper's book. It's available next Tuesday, October 7th, or you can get it right now and pre-order right now on Amazon. Like I always want to say to you, thank you for your time, man.
Thank you so much, Maya.